All right, our second action item in this part of the agenda is a resolution in support of Neurodiversity Week. Who would like to put a motion on the floor with regard to that? Nate?
I move that the board approve the resolution in support of Neurodiversity Week, March 21st to 27, 2023.
Thank you so much, Nate. Have I got a second? Carolyn's got that one. Okay, would somebody like to read the resolution? Go ahead, Nate.
Resolution of the Poudre School District Board of Education in support of Neurodiversity Week, March 21st to 27, 2023. Whereas neurodiversity refers to the concept that neurological variations in the human brain are natural, and it is common for people to have different strengths and find different things challenging, and that these differences should not be viewed as deficits or abnormal. And whereas neurodiversity can be used to talk about people on the autism spectrum, those with ADHD, and learning and developmental disabilities like dyslexia, dyspraxia, and Tourette syndrome. And whereas these conditions impact the way people think, learn, communicate, and perceive the world around them. And whereas many neurodiverse individuals experience challenges not caused by their condition, but are impaired by societal barriers that cause social isolation, inequity, and lack of accommodation for differences in cognition and behavior in schools and workplaces. And whereas it is acknowledged that the school environment must be accessible to everyone and appropriate actions must be taken to ensure our students, staff, and families who identify as neurodiverse are able to fully participate in their school community. Now therefore be it resolved that the Poudre School District Board of Education does hereby proclaim March 21st through 27th, 2023 as Neurodiversity Week in Poudre School District. We recognize the importance of Neurodiversity Week as an opportunity to acknowledge the societal challenges neurodiverse individuals face. The Board of Education encourages students, staff, and the community to support, accept, and celebrate the strengths of neurodiversity and reflect on how we can work together to create a more inclusive environment for everyone.
Thank you, Nate. And again, I believe we have somebody from the administration here to speak to this.
Yes, we do. Joining us this evening to speak to Neurodiversity Week is our district's Director of Integrated Services, Mr. Dennis Ratstatter. Dennis, welcome. Glad you're here.
Well, thank you. Good evening, Superintendent Kingsley, Board of Education members. Again, my name is Dennis Ratstatter. I'm the Director of Integrated Services, and it's my honor to speak with you a little bit today about neurodiversity. I decided to use a format that I use when I communicate out with staff. I send an email called Take 5, which usually includes 5 points, salient points that I want them to consider and think about or inform them about as they continue their work. So my Take 5 for all of you around celebrating those who are neurodiverse. Number 1, neuro differences are recognized and appreciated as a social category similar to differences in ethnicity, sexual orientation, gender, and ability. Number 2, there is no single definition of normal for how the human brain works. Number 3, neurodiversity movement emerged in the 1990s, aiming to increase acceptance and inclusion of all people while embracing neurological difference. Number 4, neurodiversity describes the idea that people experience and interact with the world in many different ways. There is no right way of thinking and learning, and differences should not be viewed as deficits. Number 5, it is important for all of us to foster an environment that is conducive to neurodiversity and to recognize and emphasize each person's individualized strengths and talents while also providing support for those differences and needs. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. Are there any remarks from the board on this resolution before we take a vote? Go ahead, DJ.
I just want to take the opportunity to also, I guess, point out or acknowledge that, this is one of those that can be invisible to a lot of people. And so, as the shirt or bumper sticker says, be kind. Be kind to our fellow people, and you don't necessarily know what difficulties they're having to deal with. So, yeah, that's it. Thanks.
Other remarks? Go ahead, Jess.
I really just want to, I appreciate that we're at this point where we're acknowledging and also valuing that their neurodiversity isn't a deficit. The number of friends I've had who grew up in a time when when their education did see it as a deficit and they were put in separate classrooms and their learning opportunity was diminished because they were seen as different. And to know that while we are not perfect, we are striving to see it as a strength and appreciate the whole person. I can't say how much I appreciate the direction we're headed.
Great, Jess. Other thoughts? All right, with that, I will call for a vote on this resolution. Jill?
DJ Anderson,
Aye.
Jim Brokish, Nate Donovan,
Aye.
Kristen Draper,
Aye.
Rob Pedersen,
Aye.
Carolyn Reed,
Aye.
Jessica Zamora.
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0.
Thank you again, Jill.